Good morning, students. Myself, Ashutosh Pawan, Faculty, Department of BCA, Harprasad Das Jain College, Ara. In today's video lecture, I am going to teach you why we have to encapsulate main method inside class body and why we have to write the signature of main method as public static void main. Within the parenthesis we have to write a string and an array separated by blank space args big brace open and close. As you may have noticed in my previous video lecture that I have written a program to test that Java compiler and Java interpreter are working or not. The program was class test Java parenthesis open public static void main and within the parenthesis string args big brace open and close and then parenthesis close curly brace open system dot out dot print parenthesis open hello how are you this was my program. As you know that programming language is of two types. One is low level language and another is high level language. High level language is further divided into two types: procedure oriented language and object oriented language. Object oriented language is then divided into two types: object based language and object oriented programming language. C++ is an object oriented programming language, but Java is a pure object oriented programming language. C++ violates the rules of object. Hence, it is said that C++ is an object based programming language, but Java does not violate any rule, any concept of an object, and Java states that if the problem is not related to an object, then it cannot be solved using Java. Java has a straightforward approach for the problems that if the problem is not related to an object, then Java says stay out of my way. So Java is a pure object oriented programming language. Hence, every problem should be considered and programmed in context of an object. While learning C++, you may have learned that to create an object, first of all, you have to define a class. In C++, you have to declare the class, then you have to define the class. Thereafter, you may create the object of the class. But in Java, a class is directly defined. In Java, a class is not declared. Hence, unlike C++, the body of class is not terminated by semicolon. So, to create an object, you have to define a class. Hence, you have to define a class to solve the problems using Java programming language. Now, you may have also learned while studying C and C++ that the execution of program begins from main function. This also happens in Java, but during the execution, first of all, an object is loaded in computer's memory. Every class that you are defining in Java is a subclass of a Java class that is named as object. Every class that you are going to define in Java inherits object class. So, you have to encapsulate the main method inside a class body, because the execution of Java program starts after loading an object into computer's memory from the main method. First of all, an object is loaded into, suppose this is the memory given to the object during the execution time of the program, and in this object memory area several variables may get their own memory, several methods may also get their own memory as you have declared and defined inside the class body, but the execution starts from the main method. Suppose this is the memory allocated to your main method. Hence, after loading an object into computer's memory, the execution and the flow of execution enters inside the main method memory. This is the reason why we have to encapsulate the main method inside a class body. Now, why we have to write the signature of main method as public static void main? Within the parenthesis, we have to write a string args, big brace open and close. As you may have learned during studying C++ that public is a visibility label or access specifier, and the members declared as public are accessible from anywhere or from any part of the program. This also happens in Java. The members inside the class body that are declared as public can be accessed from any part of the program, and when we are executing the Java program by using the Java interpreter, by writing at the command prompt Java and then the class name, the interpreter or the JVM should have the access of the main method. The JVM resides somewhere in any other memory area of the computer, and the object that is loaded during the runtime gets memory in any other part of the memory. Hence, the JVM should have the access of the main method, and so why we have to write the visibility level or access specifier or main method as public. The members declared as static need not to be accessed by using an object. Those members that are declared as non-static without using the static keyword will be accessed by using an object reference, but those members that are declared as a static member can be directly accessed by using the class name. The JVM uses the class name to access the main method. Hence, we have to declare the main method as a static member inside the class. You may have also learned that when we are defining a function, then we have to write the return type of the function, and here void is the return type. And if a function has the return type void, then it cannot return any value. As you can see that within this main method body, we have not used the return keyword because we are not going to return any value, and we can say that this main method is not returning any value. Hence, the return type of the main method is void. Now, as you know that while studying the C and C++ programming language, the flow of execution enters into the main function body, and whatever is written inside the main function body gets executed. Whatever is outside the main function body cannot be executed until it is not called inside the main method body. And in this program, we have not written anything outside the main method body. Also, the flow of execution after loading an object into computer's memory enters into main function body. Now, within the parenthesis, we have written a string args subscript open and close, big brace open and close. You are familiar with big brace open and close. The variables declared by using big brace open and close are known as array. But you can get confused because while studying C and C++, you have always given a size for the array. Suppose you have declared an integer array in C and C++, you have to specify the size of the array. Now, in Java, array is an object. Array is an object, and until you do not instantiate any object of type array, you can declare a reference of an array without specifying this size inside the subscript operator big brace open and close. if you are not instantiating an array object, suppose you are not going to instantiate an array object in Java of integer type, then you can declare the array reference like this. Hence, we are not going to instantiate an array here within the parenthesis of main method, and we have not specified the size inside the subscript operator big brace open and close. The type of this array is string. In Java, string is a class. String is a predefined class that has been defined inside java.lang package. Java.lang package, and everything that has been defined inside java.lang package is directly imported in every Java program. You need not have to import the classes or interfaces that has been defined inside java.lang package. They are directly imported in every Java program. Hence, the class string is directly being imported inside this program, and we can use the class string. Now, Java main method can receive the arguments passed during the runtime from the command prompt. While you are invoking the Java interpreter at the command prompt, you may remember that in my previous video lecture, when I was teaching you how to set the path of Java compiler and interpreter and how to check that Java compiler and interpreter are working or not, I have invoked the Java compiler by typing javac testjava.java, and I have invoked the Java interpreter by typing at the command prompt as java space test java, and from there we can pass arguments to the main method of that class that we are specifying with the Java interpreter. To pass the argument from command prompt, we have to write like java space class name that contains main method, keeping the reference of my previous video lecture. The class that I have defined in my previous video lecture was test java. So we can write like java space test java space the arguments that we want to pass the main method inside the class. Hence we can write like java space test java space 20 RAM 55.30 and anything like this. All the space separated text are received inside this string type array that we have declared inside the parenthesis of main method. All the text that are written by separating by blank space in the line where we have invoked the Java interpreter are passed to this string type array, and every text is stored in this array. The first text will be stored at the index 0, the next text will be stored at the index 1, and so on. Suppose we are going to write at the command prompt to execute the Java program as Java space test Java space 20 RAM 55.30. Then this first text is stored in the array args at the index 0. The next text RAM will be stored at the address at the index 1, and the next text will be stored in the array args at the index 2. Hence we have to write the signature of main method like this. Also, to print any message or any output, we have to write like the line that I have written here, system.out.print. While studying C, you may have used printf function. This function was used to produce output of the program. Print is also a function like printf function that you have used in C programming language. It is used to produce output of the program. But as I have said earlier in this video lecture, that Java is a pure object oriented programming language, and print is also a member of an object. Print method has been defined inside printWriter class. printWriter class. And for this class, an object has been created in Java by the name out. Hence, when you have to use print method, you have to use out object reference. Print is a member of printWriter class, and for this class an object has been already created in Java by the name out. Print is a non-static member, and in other words you can say that print is an instance member. Print is a member of an object, and the object whose member is print is named as out, and this out named object has been created for printWriter class. The object out has been created inside another class that is named as system. The printWriter class has been defined inside java.io package. Java.io package, and we are not importing this package in this program. I have not write any import statement in this program, but we have to use the object out so that we can invoke print method to produce the output of the program. Hence, the out object has been created inside system class. system class has been defined inside java.lang package. Java.lang package. And java.lang package is directly imported. Everything that is defined inside java.lang package is directly imported in every Java program. So we need not to write import statement so that we can use anything inside anything that has been defined inside java.lang package. In system class, the out object has been defined as the static member. The out is a static member of system class, and any static member of the class is directly accessed by using the class name. Hence, the class name here is system, and the static member that has been defined inside system class is out. Hence, to access out, we have to write system.out, and out is an object of printWriter class that defines print method. So print method is invoked by the reference out because print is a non-static member. Hence, an object reference is required to access this non-static member. The object for this print non-static method is out. So to access the print method, we have to write out.print. But out object has been defined inside system class as a static member, and a static member is accessed by using the class name, and the class in which out object has been defined as a static member is system. So we have to write system.out.print, and print accepts a string type argument. Print accepts a string type argument. You can notice that I have written hello, how are you inside inverted comma. Inside inverted comma, I have started inverted comma open, double quotation open, then I have written hello exclamation mark, how are you, and then double quotation close. You have learnt already that to write a string constant we have to use double quotation open, and in the end we have to write double quotation close. So I can say that after watching this video lecture, you can easily understand why we have to write main method inside the class body, and why we have to write the signature of main method like public static void main string args subscript open and close inside the parenthesis.